So last week we showed you how to install a nuke. So this week is going to be our first checkup on our nuke since then. And we realized we had a lot of questions. We realized we didn't show you how we start our smoker, so I'm going to show you how we do that. So we just take a regular piece of cardboard, roll it up, and stick it on the inside. So it covers the whole inside or outside of the circle. And we're just going to take some pine straw and just loosely pack it in there. We use a propane torch, so we're just going to heat both sides of it until they're red hot and pump it while we do so. So now we're just, while still pumping, we're going to press it down and cram some more pine straw in and then cover it up and you're ready to go. Now I'm going to go into the hive. Alright, so as y'all probably seen, our hive's in a new location. We had to do that because we had like 70-mile-per-hour winds up here in Warrenton. So we moved it here so the bees were safe. And we also now have a hive top feeder instead of a bucket feeder. We had a lot of questions, which one's better. Pretty much we use both of them and they're both equally as effective, so it doesn't really matter which one you use. So now we're gonna crack our hive open. So here's our top. And there's a bunch of bees in our hive top feeder right now. So gotta move that. Careful we don't spill the sugar water. Now we're gonna grab our smoker and smoke them down and start to look through our hive. Okay. So in our hive, our first frame on the outside, you can look, it doesn't have much going on. There's a little bit of comb on the outside. No comb on this side being drawn, but there's a couple bees. I'm going to set this on the outside. I'll move one in. You can look and see this frame. There's some brood on it. There's some brood right in the center that's capped. And then we also have some nectar and a little bit of pollen on the outside of that. And then it's the same thing on this side. All right. We're gonna put that back in. Just keep moving on. So our next frame looks like the bees are starting to draw this comb out. On my side, there's some pollen and a little bit of capped brood, mostly pollen and brood though. All right, our next frame, look. So this frame has got a lot of pollen and some nectar on it, which is great for the bees. Our next frame, over. Next frame, kind of the same thing, that other one. There's nothing really on this frame except for bees, but they're working on it. Put this one back. All right. Our next one is just solid brood all the way across. And if you look on this other side, there's a lot of drones in this hive right now. All right, move it back. Grabbing the next one. We got kind of the same thing that was happening on those other two frames. The bees are just starting to draw it out. There's a lot of pollen on my side, a lot of pollen on this other side too. Here's our next frame. Bees are still drawing it out. If you look on this side, there's some capped honey right at the top. And then the bees are just working, trying to build more comb right now. This one, not much really going on. Nothing much to really show you. And then this outside one, it looks like the bees are just drawing the comb more. So now we're going to checkerboard in some of our not so good frames, the ones that aren't so drawn out like this weird one, and we're going to move it in between two that are pretty drawn out. So move this plastic one to the outside, just take it and put it right in the middle. That way so the bees get to it faster and they draw it out faster. And we're going to move one of these ones over here onto the center. Get those bees going. And then we're going to move this one back. Put our one we set on the outside back in. Make them so they're smushed together and the frames are centered in our box. So we're going to center our frames, and this hive's actually doing pretty great. We started with about 5 frames fully drawn, and now we have about 7 frames. So that's a pretty good progress for a week. Now we're just going to move our feeder right back on top. Alright, now we're going to put the top back on, but there's some bees, so I'm just going to bang them off so they don't get smushed. And then put the top on, line it up, and that's it. Check back next week and we'll tell you what's happening in our hive, and hopefully your hives are doing just as good as ours. Thanks, bye!